Wall for Nene. Underneath. Good pass. Singleton missed the shot. Goes out of bounds. And saved. And let's see if everybody's okay.
Boy, Knight tried to jump over the bench there.
What is the first thing you think of when you hear the name Brandon Knight? Is it this play?
Here comes Chris Paul. The lob. The jam! Oh, what a monster jam by DeAndre Jordan!
Or how about this one?
Oh, no!
When I was searching Brandon Knight highlights for this video, a decent amount of the videos that were suggested are of him getting owned by another player or other fails. Brandon is a meme and has become known for his bad plays by fans, but what's going on with his actual NBA career? He was a top 10 pick in 2011, but he has already played on 3 different teams since then. What has happened? Before we get into Brandon's career, I want to talk about today's sponsor, Hardwood Amino. I've talked about it with you guys before. Amino is an app that has over 1 million different communities, and if you're looking for another place to talk about the Celtics going up 3-2 over the Cavs in the conference finals, then I definitely recommend downloading it. One of the many cool things about the app is that they have a live layer feature at the bottom of the screen that you tap so you can see which quizzes, polls, and other content is trending at that exact moment. Right now I'm taking this quiz on random stuff that has happened in the NBA. Whether you want to take part in making your own content or you'd rather just read what other NBA fans have to say in public chat rooms, Hardwood Amino is the perfect app if you enjoy basketball. I have a profile on there so you can follow me at CaineLovesCali. It will be in the description. Brandon Knight was considered a top 10 prospect in 2011 and was picked 7th by the Detroit Pistons, mainly because of his scoring ability and quick first step. He had a nice off-the-dribble game in college that could translate over to the NBA, and there were people who thought he could be a starter in this league for a long time. But the people that were low on him believed that he wasn't a smart enough player to run an NBA offense. Brandon was turnover prone and would often take bad shots, which hurt his team's offense and his shooting percentage. The pros and cons of Brandon Knight as a basketball player were in full effect in his 2 seasons with the Pistons. At times, he was pretty tough to defend in pick and rolls and in isolations because of his quickness, but there were other times where you'd wonder if Brandon is cut out to be the leader of an NBA offense because of his questionable decision making. He was picked to the NBA's All-Rookie First Team and led the Pistons in assists. The 2012-2013 season would be his last year with the Pistons. Detroit wasn't good, and Brandon as a player did not improve much from his first year. His percentages went down, and he was turning the ball over a lot for a guy who wasn't creating easier shots for his teammates. The Pistons felt that they saw enough from him, so in the summer of 2013, they traded for Brandon Jennings and gave away Brandon Knight and Chris Middleton to Milwaukee. In his second year with Milwaukee, Brandon showed that he could be an actual starting point guard in the NBA. He averaged 18 points per game, a career-high 5.4 assists, a career-high 4 rebounds, and a career-high 2 steals per game, while shooting 43% from the field and 41% from three-point range, which were also career highs. I also have to mention that he had a career high in turnovers also. He was turning over the ball 3 times per game. Playing on an improving but mediocre Bucks team, Brandon was a lot better at making shots but was still turnover prone. There were points in that 2015 season with Milwaukee where he was playing like a borderline all-star. This was the Brandon Knight that people were high on coming out of college, a guard that could create pressure on the defense with the scoring ability off the dribble. But soon he'd be moving to another NBA city after 1.5 seasons. The Bucks traded him at the 2015 deadline to Phoenix in a 3-team deal, and it made sense for the Bucks because they did not want to extend him to a long-term deal. Brandon was up for a new contract that summer. The Suns gave up a decent amount to get Knight. They traded away Tyler Ennis, Miles Plumlee, and the Lakers' 2015 first-round pick, and the Phoenix Suns felt that he could be a part of their future with Eric Bledsoe and Alex Len. Just 2 weeks after the trade to Phoenix, Brandon began to deal with injuries that would hurt his ability to get onto the court. He had a left ankle injury, then was later ruled out for the 2015 season after it turned out he needed surgery on it. The 2016 season was going to be a fresh start for Brandon. The team was going to be bad, but it was going to be a good year to see if Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Knight, and Devin Booker could work together in a team's rotation, but it was more of the same old stuff we've seen in the past. Brandon had a career high in points per game, but he was inefficient from the field. Out of the 16 players that took at least 17 shots per game during the 2016 season, Brandon Knight had the second worst true shooting percentage out of those players. He sat out for over a month because of a groin strain and later missed the rest of the year because of surgery on his sports hernia. The next season wouldn't be much better either, it was arguably worse. Knight was frustrated with his minutes during the 2017 season because he was now the 6th man. Not even the people who were low on Brandon Knight's potential as a NBA starter could have imagined being this bad at making layups after 5 NBA seasons. Here's his shot chart from the 2017 season. Other than a few spots on the court, he was mostly inefficient, the worst being his 47% shooting at the restricted area. To give you some perspective, the league average for restricted shooting percentage is 57%, so Brandon Knight is shooting well below what the average player is making at the rim. He also had a career low in three-point percentage. If you're unable to make your threes and punish teams at the rim with your driving ability, you are a liability on offense, and that's what Brandon Knight was that year. The biggest difference from Brandon's time with Phoenix and Detroit was his position. In Detroit, he was mainly getting point guard minutes, but with Phoenix, it was split between shooting guard and point guard. He lost his starting point guard spot to Eric Bledsoe, and Devin Booker was now the starting shooting guard. Not to mention, he also had back spasms, so he did not play much in the second half of that year. Brandon is not locking players down on defense or finding easier shots for his teammates, so he was really doing nothing well that year. The criticisms of him being inefficient, turnover prone, and unable to run an NBA offense were true in 2011 and were looking even more true in 2017. This was the worst year of his career, and he looked nothing like the guy from the 2015 Bucks. I would not blame you if you did not keep up with the Phoenix Suns much this year, but he tore his ACL in the summer of 2017, so he did not play at all in 2018. This upcoming year is a redemption season for Brandon Knight, and he has said he wants to be a part of this core with Devin Booker, Josh Jackson, and whoever they select in this upcoming draft. As of today, he will be competing for minutes with Elfrid Payton if they re-sign him, and Tyler Ulis. If Brandon wants to fit in with this roster, he'll have to really cut down on his turnovers and become a better playmaker, because Booker is going to lead the team in shots, Josh Jackson needs his shots, and whoever they draft is going to need their shots too. There will be a lot of talent on the Suns team this season. He's had to deal with injuries, and he's been on some pretty bad teams, so maybe this will be a good year for him. There's a good chance that Brandon just does not fit in with this Phoenix team, but I'm rooting for him because I would like to see Brandon not be a meme anymore. What kind of player do you guys think Brandon Knight could be in the next 2 years? He's only 25, so he has time, but he needs to show something soon. He doesn't really have the ability to control the pace of a game, he's too streaky from the three-point line to really trust him, and he doesn't finish well at the rim, and he's not exactly a defensive stopper. I appreciate it if you're still here watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed even one part, as it helps my channel grow. Let me know if there's another player you want me to do for this type of video, and I'll see you guys maybe Saturday or Sunday, depending on what happens to the Cavaliers.